let's say like with the Facebook example, it would probably start to look like Google Plus, and sort of just changing that and using AI to provide a unified UI UX experience across the entirety of the internet. Basically, one in the name of like, okay, some people just have preferences, but this would also be huge for people who have like learning disabilities, or maybe they're colorblind, or just any type of impairment that makes navigating the internet difficult. This is something that would be like huge for people who can't do that. I like if you can have like there's so many, like you've got like on, and there's a lot of these prompt based UI generators that can do this. So if there's a way to do it at scale in a cost effective way, so that whenever someone just goes on the internet, they just instantly have this visual experience, and man, like that would be huge. I would use that. I would definitely pay like probably, I don't know, $20 a month or something for my own internet experience that just makes it easier for me to digest information.
It's like design as a subscription service. It's like your own UI or UX, whatever you like, as a service for you across all these apps. And like you said, it's also good for accessibility too. So that's another play. I think I've seen some of, I guess, like the more primitive version, as you mentioned, is the dark mode apps, right? Like the website that just turn like dark mode, or this whatever, or like the apps that will make like for accessibility. I think there's apps that make increase font size or change font size as well. But you're saying that, but for you, for like the visual, for the aesthetic side, and like the UI itself, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah. It's kind of like skins for the internet, like internet skins.
Yeah,
Yes.
skins for the
Yes.
internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, I think like this will essentially, because there's usually two camps of UX design. One is UI UX designs that are meant to be like unnoticed, and then there's the other aspect of UX UI design where the camp is more about like being personalized and then having a distinct point of view. I think like with this skins portion, you can actually separate the two camps that you really need to. And then the people who are just like designing for the sake of kind of having a smooth experience and then having the designs to be unnoticed, where it's just like more structured, and it's more about the way that you lay out your content on that camp. And now like we can create a clear distinction on like when people are designing these websites. Essentially in like these digital design aspect, whenever you're designing a website or app, you're typically trying to make a set style sheet. This is just like an example of what a style sheet look like. And then essentially you're kind of putting this information into the design files of what you would use to design all the elements of a website or the components of the website or your app product. I think like now skins are essentially just like personalized style sheets that you could potentially just like buy from the consumer side. And then if there's consumers are or like users are just actually dedicating this behavior of purchasing like a all encompassing internet skins for all the different websites that they're visiting, I think it's not that much of a technical feat to actually have like a browser essentially to basically be able to incorporate all these different UI skins. Like you can easily you should be able to easily turn Google into like an I don't know, a Cartoon Network aesthetic or something like that, or like you can SpongeBobify like YouTube probably. And for all the UX experiences now, I think like this will actually require all the companies that are building these products or digital products to focus more on just the layout and the content of whatever they're building. essentially just like figure out the framework structure, and then they don't really need to start from the design side, because like whoever that's making the skins will just kind of influence your all the personalized designs. If like a person that's more preferred to interact with like a neomorphic kind of style, they'll purchase the skin for it instead of like really worrying about your product.
Yeah, that's yeah, I think taking the web browser approach where maybe it's its own custom browser, but sort of maybe building it on top of Chrome or doing something like that would probably be the like easier way of doing that. Yeah, that's like a really interesting way to actually execute on that. And it kind of makes me think of the analogy of someone sends an email. Someone sends an email to someone by writing it out in point form, and then they put it into ChatGPT, and then it puts it into paragraph form for them. They email that to someone. That person who received that email then gets this big email that they don't want to digest, so they copy paste it into ChatGPT, and then they put it into point form for for themselves. So really, at the end of the day, like it could have just always been a point form thing, and that could also be applied to websites where maybe these websites, they don't need to be all so fancy. Like they don't need to look a certain way. And if you can take away from that, a lot of these websites would really just be like, all right, header information, text within, imagery. That's it. Where is it on the screen? What's the font? What size is it? Things like that. Just don't even think about those questions. Like just focus on the content.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's a nice kind of like point of view to end on. We are literally changing the internet with these big ideas.